I'm going to show you how to cook an economical cut of lamb, relatively economical cut of lamb, the lamb shoulder, in a way so that it is juicy, tender, and delicious, and how to cook it to the temperature you like for your red meat. And I'm going to show you how to do all of this in a cast iron skillet, and we're going to discuss how to clean the skillet to prepare it for your next use. So let's get to cooking. They are meaty. The texture kind of reminds me of a cross between a ribeye and a pork chop as far as texture goes, but you can see some of the marbling in the meat. Basic seasonings that I'm using today include garlic powder, onion powder, hickory smoked salt, smoked paprika. You can use the paprika of your choice, and black pepper. And I'm using some avocado oil, and I have a heavy bottom pan. I'm also going to show you a cast iron pan later, but look at this beautiful lamb shoulder. It's on the bone. You can see the thickness of it, so it's not a thin cut of meat, but it does cook up pretty quickly. Now, I'm one of these weird people. I do wash my red meat, especially with a bone in it that's been cut by the butcher. I want to get off any bone fragments, but also this is when I inspect my meat. I make sure that the coloring looks right, that the texture feels right, it doesn't feel slimy. All of this is what I do while I rinse it under cool water. Because we're searing this, and want to get a nice crust, you do want to be sure that you dry it off completely. Here I have a paper cutting board that I use sometimes. You use it once and then dispose of it. It's kind of nice, but it could get pricey buying a lot of them. So with my meat completely dry, I'm just going to put a little drizzle of oil on it so that it can help my seasoning adhere to the lamb chops. While cooking, I usually don't use measurements for my seasoning, and I want to show you that technique so you can get used to it as well. You want to use seasonings that don't contain sodium, and you want to spread them on liberally. If they don't have sugar in them, that may burn. So with garlic powder, onion powder, you want to sprinkle enough on to coat each piece of the meat. You'll notice I have some seasonings in the center. Those seasonings on the mat will go on the second side. With my pepper, I just put a little bit because I don't want it too peppery. And the same with my smoked salt, it's just a little bit. And it's based upon taste, so the more you do this, the more you'll get used to the appropriate measurement for you. I am showing you with smoked paprika that I'm using a 1 teaspoon measuring spoon, and you'll see how much I use. So I am trying to show you proportions that I like, but again, you will use the measurements according to your taste buds. So I have my heavy bottom black, the rock pan heating up, and I'm just going to add a little oil in there. And also I'm going to show you how I start my cast iron skillet. So the same way I have it heating up. You'll see me cooking lamb chops in each pan, and then at the end of this video I'll talk about which pan I prefer for my lamb chops and steaks, and we'll talk about why as well. I am using avocado oil. It has a higher smoke point than other oils like olive oil, and because I am seeking to get a good sear on this meat, it will be cooked at a higher temperature than some other recipes. With my pan heating up, I'm just using a gloved hand to rub my seasonings, my dry seasonings, into my meat. During this time, it's also allowing the meat to rest a bit out of the refrigerator. I like to let my meat, if I can, rest at least a good 10 or 15 minutes. Some people may let their red meat rest for 20 or 30 minutes. That's going to be up to you. I do notice great results with just letting it rest for at least 10 minutes beforehand. It knocks some of the chill off that it has in the refrigerator. But again, try different things out and see what works best for you. But look at that gorgeous seasoning, y'all. It looks like it's got to taste good even at this point. You'll notice that the lamb shoulder can be kind of loose, the pieces connected to the bone. There's some connective tissue there. If it comes apart and you want to cut it, that's fine. It's going to be delicious either way. So put it in your pan and let it sit for a good 4 or 5 minutes before you turn it over. I am taking a peek. Now, the caramelization you get will depend on several things, including the seasonings you choose, as well as the pan you use and the heat level that you're cooking with. I am adding some coconut aminos. It's a soy-free sauce, similar to soy, in that it's a great marinade or flavoring agent, and it will help brown or caramelize the meat some in this pan. You want to be sure to cook your lamb steaks to at least an internal temperature of 145 degrees. If you want to cook it a little bit further, you can to 150. I wouldn't recommend going much higher than 155 or maybe 160 because you don't want it to get tough, but it can still be delicious if you like your meat cooked a little bit longer. You absolutely want to get an instant read meat thermometer to measure the temperature of your meat. as you get used to cooking steaks this way. This meat has been in my pan for exactly 16 minutes, and so I knew that it was finished. I just put the thermometer in for the benefit of everyone watching this video. Now let's cook another pack of lamb chops, but this time we're going to cook it in a cast iron skillet, which is heating up, and you can see the nutrition facts of the lamb chop steaks, which is kind of interesting to see. Listen to that sizzle, y'all. I followed the same process of cleaning the meat, drying it off, seasoning it up well, and then placing it in a hot pan. Look at that. Now, this is a bit hotter. This is more oil than I need, so that is something you want to avoid. It's not going to hurt my final outcome, but I do have to dip and dodge a little bit of the hot grease right now. The cast iron pan absolutely holds heat better. I absolutely look at that, y'all. Look at that crust. That is what I like to see. These are the same seasonings that I used on the previous steaks as well. The shape is slightly different because it's a different package of meat and I broke it apart differently, but it's still absolutely delicious. The same thickness as well. Now, I am cooking this on a medium high heat, and you can see the char, the caramelization is a bit more intense than in the other pan that I used. This is the 10-minute mark. This meat has been in this pan, both sides, for a total of 10 minutes, and you can look and see the temperature that it's coming up to. The cast iron pan, like I mentioned, holds the heat better and it cooks more evenly for the steaks, I believe. And so I'm absolutely enjoying this, and I will continue to use my cast iron pan for steaks from now on. No matter which pan you use, you do want to take your meat out when it comes to the appropriate temperature and let it rest for a good 10 or 15 minutes. And then look at this on a dinner plate. You can absolutely pair it with my Brussels and asparagus bacon sauteed recipe that I'll share at the end of this video. After I finish cooking in the cast iron skillet, I turn off the heat and I let the pan stay on the eye, and I add salt, iodized salt, if that's the proper way to say it, and I let that sit so that it'll be easier for me to clean my pan later. Now, with my meat sitting, you can see some of the juices have come up. We do want to let that rest before we cut into it. I have some beautiful flat parsley or cilantro there. I can't remember which one I used, but look at me cut into this. Now, this is how I like my lamb chops cooked. It's a warm pink center. It is very juicy and tender. The cost of this lamb shoulder is much less than you would pay for a rack of lambs, and you get more meat, so that's why I prefer this cut. I usually pay about $12 to $13 for one pack of lamb shoulder, which includes two big lamb steaks, and that's what you see here. When you cut into it, it's absolutely delicious, and presenting this meat on a cutting board is kind of rustic, kind of beautiful. I just stood over my cutting board and ate it myself because I actually cooked this at 11 o'clock at night. Don't judge me. It was late and I was hungry, so I cooked it. But if you wanted to make this as a meal earlier in the evening, like most normal folks, you absolutely can pair it with some delicious sides, as I did here. Let me know how you prefer your lamb, if you cook it a little bit past the 145-degree mark, as I did for this particular lamb cut, or do you like it a little bit more rare, as I have here? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel and look at some more cast iron recipes that I have posted for you.